Occam's razor is a principle that claims that between possible explanations, the simpler one is probably the accurate one. This is very practical, and it creates a great way to live, but it falls short of reality, because when you simplify, you lose information. Reality is overwhelmingly complex, but you can describe any specific aspect of reality as an equation. Politics is an equation of priorities and human bias. Human bias and behavior is the result of the equations the brain cells run. The cellular processes in the brain are the result of the equations the cell's organelles run. The organic chemistry of the molecules in a cell is the result of the equations that govern chemical reactions, and chemical reactions are the result of equations in physics of protons and electrons. But on top of the nearly infinite layers of equations in every single aspect of reality, every equation of one aspect is also algebraically linked to a multitude of other dynamic equations. By which I mean, for example, in an equation about today's temperature, in Michigan, there are variables related to the equation of season, variables related to the equation of pollution, even variables related to the ice in the ocean. Everything is connected to some degree, with more weight given to the things which are more closely related. So, if we want to understand reality, the best way is to find a way to run these equations. Now, what is the best way to run equations? On a computer, obviously. Now, let's not assume this makes the results objective, since there's no way to know that the equation a computer runs is indeed the accurate equation of reality. But there's a more important point to make. To demonstrate how overwhelmingly complex reality is, imagine the world's most powerful computer attempting to accurately and completely simulate a flower. That includes every petal, every cell, every atom, every electron, and every interaction. That computer would explode. Reality is too complex. Even just one little flower would be too overwhelming for a computer to fully simulate. Yes, today's computers can simulate a lot. Some video games have entire cities simulated, but this is only possible because of how simplified everything in the city is. But accurately and completely simulating a single flower would be unimaginably more complicated than even the most complex virtual world that we've created. Now, think about how this simulation of reality is what the brain attempts to do. The brain attempts to simulate our world as accurately as possible, but it falls short, it simplifies. It doesn't simulate every single cell in a flower. It can at most think about a couple thousand cells at a time. And when thinking about the whole flower, it loses an immense amount of detail about the cellular level. And the brain has a lot of anxiety when it is reminded that its simulation is incomplete or inaccurate. That's why politics is so violent, why religion is so comfortable. We prefer a simple right and wrong, something easy to comprehend. But we have to take a step back and recognize the complexity of reality. It's quite beautiful, really. At every given moment, everything is happening. Cellular processes, chemical reactions, physics. Not just what's in your view, not just what's here on Earth, but in the entire universe. There is an incomprehensible amount of equations being run by the software of reality every moment. Imagine how strong of a computer you would need to accurately simulate it all. So, if you're ever wondering what the value of life is, what makes it beautiful, or more specifically what you are worth, ask yourself, how overwhelming would it be to accurately and completely simulate you in a supercomputer? Think about your complexity, and keep in mind that a simple flower would make the computer explode.